everyone, and welcome to Simply Made Homestead. Well, this morning we are out here and we're going to finally put the pigs a new house up. You can see maybe behind there, can you see that back there, the little teepee looking little A-frame? Well, they have long outgrown that, so we're going to build them a nice bigger shelter and anchor it down for any possible hurricanes that we may have coming this year.
Okay, so we're going to build pallets. We're going to use 4 pallets, 2 on the back side and 2 on each end. And then we have some leftover tin roofing, some metal roofing that we're just going to put on top, hoist it down. We'll put some braces in there just to keep it stable. And
because pigs like to scratch. So we're going to be scratching up against it.
Yes, yeah, we got to stabilize it and screw it all together.
All right, guys, let's get going. Stop. Dadgummit. All right, guys, you can push up for your sleepy daggone. Head around, sliding it through there to be able to nail it down and make it nice and secure. All right, guys, you can see over my shoulder here the A-frame. This is what they've been using since they were little, and all the rooting. See all the rooting they've done? Oh my gosh, they have really gone to town out here. But I better get over here and help Andrew out. Now, Izzy has already been enjoying their new house because she was over there scratching on that pallet, and it's not even up yet. But if you haven't seen our video on building the compost bin, we're going to join the pallets together just like we did on the compost bin, and I will link it at the end of this video and in the description box below for you. And the only difference is on these two right here, there's no sideboard. So Andrew's going to get a 2x4 to go across the top here and across the bottom to be able to nail it all down and be able to make it really nice and secure for the pigs. Now you can see over here, there's her little A-frame that they've been using, and it's worked out great. I'm sure we'll keep it and we'll use it for, you know, when we have new feeders or piglets or whatever. Or we may just take it apart and reuse it somehow. Izzy, what you doing? What you doing? Come here. Izzy. They are very curious about what this is and what's going on. But apparently, look at her. Andrew is just using scrap boards. He actually has a 1x4 on the top and a 2x4 on the bottom, just scrap pieces that we had around. And sliding it through there to be able to nail it down and make it nice and secure. What happened?
Come up and try to bite me.
Leave the, what is this thing called? Stop! The tripod! Leave it alone, Izzy.
Line those
Now, even though the pallets have slats in them, pigs don't mind the weather. They enjoy water a lot. So this is going to really just kind of break the storms, and so they're not just getting waylaid with a bad storm coming through.
So once again, I'm using 3-inch screws. These are outdoor, they're coated.
hear those ducks? Those are called whistling ducks. Now Izzy, this one right here, this is our gilt. And gilt means that she's never had babies, she's never had a litter. And then once she has her litter, she'll become a sow. We are supposed to be getting a boar in the near future, and we're looking forward to that. And once they get old enough, we'll be able to breed them. This one right here is Pork Chop. He's our feeder. He's a very small feeder. I don't know if we're going to get to wait on him or not, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Look at him, just from rooting. And they love water, y'all. They don't have a mud hole out here. We have tried to put a mud hole for them, but it's so sandy. So I don't know. We're going to have to figure something out. Thought about maybe like a pond liner or something to help hold the water. We're going to have to do something though. So all 4 pieces are all screwed together.
It's gonna be hard to put the tent on top of this. So we're reinforcing it. Run some runners here on top here with 2x2s. So we're just gonna place them down here. Now these are 8 feet long, so you have a little excess, but it's not a big deal. And we're gonna put 3 of them on here. We're using 2 sheets of metal. We have a 2x4 down here in the bottom. We're putting it down here because you see the pigs, they like to rut. So it's going to further stabilize it, keep it good and solid. And these are more for the roof, which will also help everything stay nice and solid. Okay, so you may have noticed that the sun is in a different direction. And it's now at the end of the day. I had to leave, come back here to finish it up. So to summarize, all right, 3 pieces of 2x2s. I put this 1x4 here earlier and a 2x4 down there to help hold this together. But I found that by doing so, when we put this 2x2 here, I need to add another 1x4 here so that this is level when we put on our roofing. Coincidentally though, because once again, we're just dealing with scrap wooding, nothing is quite even or level. I didn't need to put a 1x4 little piece of wood over here because didn't need it. It's level enough as it is. So, okay. And then you can see a 2x4 down here on the bottom. I went ahead and screwed that in to the posts down on the main, on each end there. I put 2 screws on each side there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one, screw this one in, and then I will screw this one in, figure out exactly where it needs to go. I'll have to put on a couple of braces right here. I'm just going to put 2 in. That way the sheet metal doesn't bow in down the middle. It'll help keep it. So 4 would be ideal. I'm just putting 2 in for now. Alright, now that I have this end one in, I need to figure out exactly where this is going to go. On this back side here, I got the lift just going over the back side of the edge, just to help the rain keep it from going down on the inside. Alright, so the next thing is to go ahead and put my side braces here. And I'm just going to mark them. Mark and cut them. since I'm just putting 2 in there, I'm trying to do it in thirds, roughly. Put your screw in, try to stay a couple inches away from the, as far away from the end as possible. By doing so, it helps prevent splitting, your wood splitting. Now you see I have a little extra coming up. Once again, this is a pig pen. It really doesn't matter, it's not that big a deal. Also, you can see that this is a little twisted on here. Again, it's a pig pen. Be all right. Just to counter it though, you can put down, screw it on more on this side, the high side, and it may bring it down a little bit. When you put this middle one, you don't want to line it up here because you won't be able to get the screw in from the other side. So just kind of offset it a little bit. Well, I went and sit on this, but it'll hold. So I'm swapping out and using this nut driver. Works really well on these roofing nails, roofing screws. They just sit right on in there. This one actually is a little magnetic, so it holds it. Now when you do this, you want to try and go along the tops here. I've already got holes in this. Makes it easy. And importantly, there's a little rubber gasket there on there. And when you screw it down, you don't want to screw it down too far where this gasket expands out. It makes it flat, looks, and just expands, squashes it all out. Doesn't do any good. Flip side, you also don't want it too loose where it's just dangling up in the air. There's a nice little sweet spot in there where it just holds it, snugs it on there, keeps the water from going inside. Now normally, you would want to overlap this at least two ridges, but we're not doing that today, because then that just means I'm short that much out here. So there's already holes in here. Rain come in from the outside. It's just to get them out of the direct sun and any heavy rain. Just give them a little bit of shelter. So any little bit of rain that does come through here, it ain't going to bother them. You want to try and keep your screws on the very top of your ridge, or you can kind of go maybe the top to the side. It's a lot flatter there on this style. If you put it down inside the valley, what happens is the rain comes in, it sits inside that valley there, and then eventually it'll seep through into that hole. Putting one in the middle just to keep it from bouncing around. So when you're putting the screws in on the cross members here, it's easier just to take a look. You can see where your screw is and then screw it right down the top. And that way you can do that from both sides over there where you can't see this at all as you're looking through the slats. This is done. The roof is really stable. I wouldn't sit on it, but it'll hold up pretty well. And this isn't going anyplace either, but just to make sure, plus we get some high winds here, hurricane season. We're in the middle of hurricane season, and as they appear, I don't want to have to come out here and deal with it. So I made some these candy canes out of some rebar, and just took it and bent it down. So what I'll do is I'll put it down, but instead of straight down, because what happens is when it lifts this up, it lifts this up straight up. So I'll put it down at an angle a little bit. Plus, as this hits this, with this being more at an angle, because it'll hit over here, it'll act like almost like a reverse leaf spring on your suspension of your vehicle. So it adds tension to help keep it down and bouncing. Anyways, so also, plus I did one on the other side. The fact that they're at angles like this, when the wind comes up, they're working against each other. So anyways, that's my thought. I'm gonna go ahead and hammer it in. Okay, we're done. But before you're done, make sure that you do a walk around. Make sure that because you're dealing with slats, they're built with nails. Make sure there's no nails, nail heads, and anything like that sticking out. You don't want anything to be able to injure your livestock. So items that we used 4 pallets, realistically 4 sticks of 4 8-foot sticks of 2x2 wood, 1 8-foot 2x4, and some little scrap 1x4s. 3-inch screws. These are some roofing screws. I think they're 1 1/4 inch, maybe 1 1/2 inch roofing screws. And then of course this tin. You can pick it up at your big box store. I don't know what the price of it is now, but this was 8 feet. So they come in I think 12-foot or 8-foot sections. But just use whatever you have around the house, or find some scrap metal, anything like that. Just use what you have. To help hold it down, I found some old rebar. I bent it and shaped this to help lock it in the ground. So, all right, so I think I'm going to get out of here. Let these pigs explore their new home. Find out if they like it or not. Well, they like belly rubs, or in this case, back rubs. Yes, don't you, pork chop? Oh, yes. I think he does. Anyways, so if you like this, if you got any value of this, subscribe, like, share, pass it on, and give us any comments. I'm sure I'm horrible at communicating, and I'm sure I left something out or unexplained very well. And send a comment, and I'll reply back to you. So, anyways, this is Andrew, Simply Made Homestead. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.